Hello my friends, Jeff, Tax Rescue CPA. Today, top 10 mistakes people make when filing back taxes. Number 10, not setting up a payment plan. Once you get those back taxes filed, if you owe anything, set up a plan. If you can't pay it all right away, set up a plan to take care of that liability. Begin working at it right away to minimize future penalties and interest. Number 9, not seeking professional help. Forget about me and being self-serving right now. Yes, I do prepare back taxes. That's what I do. But take me out of the equation. Back taxes are a lot more complicated than filing the current year. If you have any bit of complication to your situation, I implore you, find some help. Make sure you understand exactly what's going on and what needs to be done. Number 8 is assuming you won't be audited. Not taking a potential audit into consideration. Now listen, just because the tax return is old doesn't mean the IRS isn't going to audit it. So this is a common misconception. It's old, I'm just gonna throw some numbers on there and go with it. No, it's critical. I was gonna say crucial. It's critical to get correct information on your return, even if it's 4 years old. Number 7, filing late or not at all. Okay, or if you're already 3 years behind, there's nothing you can do about filing late. That's water under the bridge. But you need to get current, even if you can't pay the taxes. Filing your return on time goes a long way toward avoiding issues with the IRS, even if you can't pay. Number 6 is incorrectly claiming deductions and credits. And this is a biggie because it can be really confusing when you have to go back and figure out what deduction and credits applied and how on different tax years. A great example of this is back when we were going through the coronavirus scare and we had the stimulus money, and there was even some variation on taxability of things like unemployment income. It differed from year to year, and you got to understand what rules were in play in what year to make sure you minimize your tax liability by claiming the correct deductions and or credits for the year you're filing. Number 5 of the top 10 mistakes people make when filing their back taxes is ignoring IRS notices. Now, I know it can seem like the IRS is a paper mill, sending notice after notice, usually about every 5 weeks. But those notices mean something. You need to read them, you need to understand them, you need to heed them. Number 4 is not reporting all income. You think, look, I'm just gonna report the big stuff. I'm not gonna report everything. Well, the IRS is gonna be looking at what you do file compared to what records they have. And if there's any discrepancy, even on a return that's 4, 5, 6 years old, they're gonna call you out on it and want an explanation. And this is gonna make the process 3 times as much of a headache or more of a headache than it needs to be. Number 3 is not filing previous years. So if you haven't filed your back taxes all the years and you start skipping around, this is going to create issues with the IRS not feeling's the wrong kind of word, but the IRS having all of your tax years. Okay, now I've got other videos that dive into how far back you need to go. But what the point here is, don't jump around and skip year to year. Be consistent and file all the way through it and get yourself caught up. Number 2 of the top mistakes people make when filing back taxes is failing to understand interest and penalties. This is a big factor. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is this is not generally a factor at all if you don't owe taxes. If you're filing a return that doesn't have a tax liability due, guess what? You won't have any interest and penalties on that return because the IRS owes you. Again, I got other videos that dive into this deeper about how far back you can claim a tax return a tax refund, and what to estimate the interest and penalties to be, how much they're going to be based on some rules of thumb. That takes us to numero uno. The number 1 mistake people make when filing back taxes is not reviewing their IRS transcripts. Even though this is an old return, you're still going to need to report to the IRS the same information that others have reported to the IRS for you. To know what that is, grab your transcripts. Guess what? Yeah, I got other videos about how to do that. It's a relatively quick online process you can do without having to wait on hold for literally hours with the IRS to request the information. It can all be done electronically at your computer. And there you have it, top 10 mistakes people make when filing their back taxes. Who's doing your taxes?